Welcome back everyone for another video. It's Jimothy here and we're going back to our roots with some blue Belcher in the new meta. As things are starting to settle, we are seeing essentially the top two decks are the exact same as they were before, which is Energy and Frog. Obviously there's been some changes, but Wizards did not ban the right card to actually hurt Energy. That's a whole nother discussion. And as people get tired of testing out the new unbanned cards, they're going back to just playing the best deck. So a lot of Mardu energy because Bowmasters is essentially the new ring, where if the Boros deck isn't splashing for Bowmasters, it is, at a disadvantage in the mirror. And so now everyone's got to splash black for Bowmasters. But all that being said, kind of went back to the roots here. There's been a bunch of iterations of Blue Belcher and cards that have been tested and builds that have been tested, but kind of back to basics, so to speak. I switched out my Commandeer for a Force Negation. I added a Tezzeret the Seeker, and I switched packs out for just some Preordains. It could be main deck unable to scream, but with the 4th Tamishi and the Preordains, like I'm all in on kind of our main game plan, game 1. It also gave me some 1-drops for Shoals. The switch to Force is because there's less spells I want to Commandeer. Like, I don't want to Commandeer a Faithless Looting most of the time. I'd rather just Force Negation it. And similarly with, like, Green Sun Zenith, it's a useless card in our deck. There's no... We don't just have rings running around. There aren't really a lot of Karns out there. So anyways, we switched to Force. The Preordains are kind of our filler card, but I do think that they help smooth out draws. And because we have like tapped lands and then lands that we'd like to play tap to save life, it helps, for our turn 2 play if we don't have one of our 2-drops. Kind of takes place. Like, so essentially this is kind of like 2-drops, 13 and 14, not 13, 14, 9 and 10. I really like Tezzeret still, even though there are a lot less consign out there. It's usually still in the sideboard, and I like having another blue win con. Yeah, so I like the Tezzeret tech. In the sideboard, I have like the Kozilek tech. I think that's pretty necessary. I am still playing 1 Commandeer and a Force. I'm on Mystical Disputes, 2 Harbingers, the 4 Unable. The one that might seem odd is playing 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. I actually considered playing 4. The reason being, like, yes, you can Whir of Invention for it, but that is pretty slow. And we would rather have this on turn like 1, 2, or 3 than on turn 4, which is as soon as we can get it with Whir. And multiples aren't necessarily bad, especially against something like Dredge or Hollow One. Yeah, we want to be pretty proactive in hitting the graveyard right now. It's very popular. We're going to a league. I actually tried doing a league off screen, so to speak, and it was abysmal. After essentially running 4-1 every single league since the ban, a couple 3-2s with Griselbrand Brew that I was doing, I decided to run a league on my own, and I won 1 game. I went 1-10, 0-5 in matches. It was pretty crazy. That's a deck I want to try out. Been trying to brew my own anyway for a while. Get this out of here. Hope everyone is enjoying their holiday season. And yeah, hopefully we have some fun playing Blue Belcher today. It is interesting. I mean, I think the meta is essentially going to be, like I said, exactly what it was. Gigantha doesn't really hurt any deck. It was just like, it was a slight percentage benefit to play it. So of course, why not? Why wouldn't you play it? The ring didn't actually hurt Boros energy. It just, it was like a net neutral. And then Raptor just was not, it actually wasn't what their explosive draws were, and doesn't actually cripple it in any way, shape, or form. It just means they have to find something else to fill that. I'm convinced that if someone just took Amp Raptor and replaced it with Stormcrow, that they'd probably still 5-0 most of the time. I think this is a keep. We got Got the Archaeologist into Flare to try to hit our land drop, which is, you know, a nice place to be. Don't have any free spells, so I'll just pass this turn. It's an interesting first land. Not what I expect to see in Modern. Another Belcher is a pretty poop-tastic draw there, but, you know, it is what it is. Like, any blue card is better than a second Belcher. Unless they play exactly Thoughtseize right now. And ooh, I like the cut of their jib. A red Eldrazi list. Or maybe this is just a splash in that colorless list. The colorless storm, essentially. Yeah, that's what it's feeling like. So it's going to be rough. I didn't have an answer for the Fleshraker on turn 2, so we probably are losing this game. Obviously, if we'd been on the play, I could have played the Philology out and held up Flare, but I don't think we're dead this turn, but it is possible. No, they can't get up to... They played Mystic Forge, and with Mox Opals, they just kind of go off, so... essentially now we want to flare a Mystic Forge and hope that that's enough to slow them down. The problem is they do a lot of just ancillary damage even when they're not going off with this Fleshraker. And we're going to have to sack this in order to stop the Fleshraker. Well, we only have one target, so choice is made for us. We can play tapped land into untapped land, and we have the turn 4 win, but they have 4 cards in hand and a bunch of mana. Oh, they bolted that. So now we don't have Flare. Okay. I mean, they know we're on Flare. So, if we see Mystic Forge, it's probably just time to concede. I don't... They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. Wow, all the Mox Opals. Or Mox... Not Moxes. Mishra's Bubbles. All 4 of them have been played. I guess we might just have to... Yep, there's the Mystic Forge. If they're exactly like land as their top 2 cards, we might be okay for a minute. By a minute, I mean until next turn when we die. The red mana makes it seem like they might actually be playing Storm, like Grape Shot, which I haven't seen. They just kill you usually with Glittering Fleshraker. But I suppose it makes sense. They're already at what, like 1, 2, 3. Very unlikely we survive another turn. Oh, we're getting Kozilek's commanded? What are they hitting exactly? They can make 3 tokens. They top deck the Kozilek's man. So then they get 3, 4. I just yielded through the turn when this was happening. Bane Veil. That doesn't do a whole lot for us, does it? So we put us down to 4. Yeah, we're just dead. I don't know. It's like we need 3 life to be able to actually win next turn. So it's like we're already not going to be able to do that. I could go to 1 now and hold up Flare, but they get a cast trigger to kill us, so we are just dead on board, unfortunately. Unable to Scream can't stop the Fleshraker. Portable Hold doesn't really have targets. We do want another Force, and we can Commandeer Mystic Forge, that's fine. The Harbingers are actually pretty good against the Saga deck. What are we cutting here? I don't think we really need the Tezzeret in this matchup. Shoal's pretty good because we're trying to stop a 3-drop from hitting the board. Alright, trim on our Preordains and trim 1 Tamishi. 3 lands, 2 Vers, a Flare, and a Thunder Trap. That's pretty good. Here our Flare is fast enough, which is relevant. If we didn't have this, I wouldn't keep this hand even though it otherwise looks pretty good. We gotta have interaction. Might just slam a Cavern, which would feel bad. This makes his tokens be able to attack, which is crazy. Where were you first turn, Vayne Veil, huh? I think we take the Force. We already have double Whir, and we already have 2 more lands, so he gets to see that, but that's fine. He might be like, well, it doesn't stop my Fleshraker. It doesn't, but Mystic Forge also is really nice to keep off the field. I don't think they really can win without it. Obviously not blocking here. We are holding up Thunder Trap as a counterspell, essentially. Excuse me, hitting the mic there. No, thank you. They expected that, I think, as soon as we didn't block. A little late on the bloom. We can bolt ourselves to actually hardcast this, or whir for bloom. If we whir for bloom, turn we have 6. We wouldn't be able to whir. We need another untapped. So I'll go. I'm gonna protect our life a little bit, hoping they don't have a second Fleshraker right now. Second Herald. Excuse me there. I like it. Swing for 3 and then 6. It's fast. Probably doesn't give us time for this Lotus Bloom. Flare. Well, we can hardcast Flare. If we need to. So if we were for bloom this turn, next turn we can whir for Belcher, but we're dead in 2 turns of attack, so it's actually too slow. I don't know if something I can whir for that stops this, right? I'll have a portable hole in one of these guys, huh? Yeah, we're just dead next turn, so we don't actually have time for that. Being said, I'm not going to win otherwise. I guess we could possibly do a Tamishi draw. So we need the bloom for that to work, because this bloom isn't going to come off in time. Whir for Belcher, and then we're dead. If we had any energy, we could use this. Yeah, that is what it is. I'll just go ahead and do it. That is the downside of like counter magic being your way to like win, is like, well, we countered a thing, but it doesn't matter. We just died to two 2/2s above each other. Oh, I could have played that, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Super dead. They got 3 3/3s, and I'm at 3. Yeah. That combo, as well as the Brood Scale one, are going to be a hard matchup for Blue Belcher. I guess any Saga deck, honestly, especially that is a combo, is going to be hard for Blue Belcher. But I think Affinity is going to be rough, and Amulet is going to be rough. Saga just being an uncounterable like threat plus utility is hard. Us not being able to win before turn 4 is hard. I don't think we gotta keep. Guess we just need one more land. I'll keep. We're on the draw. I got Preordain. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks at a second land. We nailed it. I guess we'll lead on this one. And we still got a bolt preordain. We definitely don't need another 2-drop. We'll take a land. We might not play out a 2-drop. We might just play a tap land. Because we need to bolt ourselves twice. On 3 we get Whir for Lotus Bloom. 4 we Bloom to Mishi, start going off. Well, this is scary. I think we're going to go... I don't know. What is our opponent doing? The flare draw means I do want to play out the 2-drop. Of course, I drew the one card that changed up my plan. Any land. It's nice that we've gotten a couple hydroelectric. Or do I want the shoal? I'm going to take the land. I said any land. I'm a man of my word. It's turn 2. Hold up flare. What is our opponent doing? Is it creativity maybe? Just a slow creativity draw? Are they going to bolt this? Push it? I mean, okay. Feels like creativity. I still think it's a very strong deck. Looks like the strongest one after the first couple days, but energy is far more efficient. Nothing can beat. Guide of Souls is just 2 pushed of a card. Ocelot is 2 pushed, and Flage is 2 pushed. And if you have those 12 cards, I think a Johnny is like fair enough, just not with those cards. I think Ocelot honestly would be fine if none of those other cards were printed, but they all were. And Flage, I think, is just too close to Uro. So they might have Archon next turn. Which means I might just Archaeologist again instead of doing the Whir for Bloom. Yeah, it's probably our fair bet. Got another flare. I'm gonna take the shoal. I can't shoal for 4 though. Waterlogg's also... We already have the cards it would get, so we already have 2 lands. Guess we'll get flare. So I have 1 floating. I think I can win next turn, right? I have to go play land, bolt, myself. Whir for Bloom, Bloom for 3 white, use that bolt land, and 2 of the white to cast him. Then 1 white to start bouncing lands. I got 4 lands, so I got 2, 4, 6, 8 mana to play Belcher and activate. What are we doing over here? You're gonna bolt it in response to me blocking? Why didn't you just bolt it before I blocked? Seems odd. So they can still creativity. One upside is like creativity doesn't actually kill me or whatever. I can afford to just discard a flare and go down to 11 because I'm bolting myself down to 8. And he can't like also Thoughtseize me or something this turn. So I think we got it. Even though they like did their thing, so to speak. I mean, having both Whir and Belcher in hand and Tamishi is just a powerful combo. You have to do it exactly this way so that you have one white left over to start the loop. Wish it was easier to do this. But I've gotten pretty used to it. Don't really have a reason to go up to 9 mana or whatever. So we'll just kill him. Should be pretty good into creativity. What do we sideboard in? I think we want these and these. I don't think Unable Screams are worth it. I think Commandeer is worth it. Again, like, creativity might just, like, flip into a hydroelectric specimen for us. Or, I mean, if it hits Bloom or Belcher, it's good most of the time, but I don't think it's really worth it. Yeah. We want those. Flare felt a little weak there. They're pretty good at removing our board. Don't need the Tezzeret because they're not playing blue. What do I want here? Do I trim a bloom? I think I trim a bloom. Trim it to Mishi. Egg V-Ball is our opponent. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. Blame it on the Chinese food I had tonight or something. Let me tell you, it was crazy at the Chinese restaurant on Christmas. A lot of interaction. We have Soul Guide, Shoal, Force. We have Thunderclap, Dig, and 3 lands. We also have white lands, which is nice because it means if we draw Tamishi, we can just loop this Soul Guide. Yeah. Okay. We could Shoal Persist. We can force a Creativity. We can force a Persist. We have decent options here. Yeah, because we saw Blood Crypt, that's why I did the Soul Guide plan. I assumed they're on the Persist build. Lots of fetches. I was always flooding in the deck, but we managed to 4-1 with it. This feels like Ren. I didn't see Ren game 1. I guess I should have assumed it because I saw green. That is something we wouldn't mind. I guess Commandeering doesn't really do anything because we don't really put lands in our graveyard. I think it's fine to shoal this. I'll get rid of Thunder Trap. I actually want to keep the land, I think. I guess Thunder Trap can dig for land, and we did draw Flare, so we'll get rid of the land. It builds a lot of value over time. If they go for Fable here, I don't know that we force that. I think we want to keep it for the combo. Yeah, I think we want to keep it. I also should have just played this out last turn. It's my bad. Wasted my mana there. Sorry. Those viewing at home, they're like, why didn't he cast that? Well, he forgot. That's why. Sometimes I'm not good at magic. This can't even block the Goblin Shaman. Got Shoals and Words. I think we have to grab a word to actually like try to win this game at some point, right? I have Flare of Force. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to play this out too. I do need to get my mana developed. Which means I might have to pitch this whir anyway. Depending on what our opponent does. To go bolt this, swing, use the treasure token to hit the Goblin Shaman with the creativity. Goes for the persist light here. It's my fault. Excuse me. My fault for not playing out that Soul Guardian Lantern. Feels like a push. Looks like a push. Is a push. No Dwarven Mine here means I'm probably not getting hit by creativity this turn. At this point I would just pitch the flare. Ooh, a looting. Faithlessly looting. New mountain. Oh, opponent, what you doing over there? Boseiju, interesting. Not using that. Huh, glad we hit Ren. I totally forgot about Ren plus Boseiju, which essentially locks our deck out of the game. Thoughtseize. Want. We're gonna lose our whir or force anyway. I'd rather keep the whir. Have some hope. We got one more turn on that. One more turn on that. Through the years, we'll always be together. Because I should actually technically hit the Boseiju in case they have another Ren. I think I'm playing this out. Tapped, and next turn we can whir for the Belcher. I hope that's enough. What is 2 cards? I'm down to 1. Another Fable, sure. I feel like although this card is very powerful, that it's just like not there for Modern these days. It's the one card in the list I was like, I don't know about this. I think I want to draw a card with this. Maybe aggressive use of it might be incorrect. Seagate. Just keep cards in hand, I think, at this point. There's really a point bluffing that. I guess I could have cast that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just drawn, what, 1, 2. Draw 3 more cards. Wouldn't do all that much. Opponent would just be like, surprise, here's a Bowmaster. Yeah, I should have hit this. Poopy doopy on a stick. Okay. Okay, I guess they don't. Oh, they have green sources. Shouldn't I target the Lotus Bloom? Oh, here we made the right choice by playing out our land. They also need only green. Do this in response and hope we're not dead this turn. 2 mana, but they can make 2 more tokens. That's 4. I need 3 lands when I go to max turn, and I have 1, so it's going to put me down to 1 land or no life. I should be fine. An opponent at the end of the day is a spell-based combo that's slow, at least as slow as us. I get a bunch of treasure tokens. Didn't actually attack. Good game. Okay. Opponent could tell as well. Let's get a last match in here before I go to bed. Been a long day. But so far, not surprised really by either of these results. I think that creativity is a deck. A lot of people are playing creativity. Blue Belcher is bueno. And the Fleshraker combo decks of any sort, any Sago combo deck, is just not going to be a great matchup for the all blue cards. That's the one I picked. I want the just OG, just like OG printings. Except for that outer, he's cool, I guess. And white borders. I need that link. Double Bloom and Tamishi is nice. Only 1 land, but we have Preordained to save the day. And we're on the draw. Fa, Mi, Chimika. Fame. See. Famek. Himeka. No idea how to say our opponent's name. If I held into a land, Burning Inquiry. Yikes. Don't take my blooms. Hey, that's nice. That's fine. We didn't take our blooms. I can get my blooms off, we should be good. Do I want to preordain? Our life total is a big deal in this matchup. I think I'm just going to play this. Life total is a big deal. I think I'm going to bolt to Thunder Trap next turn. Still can't block the Faith Blade though. Oh man. Feels weird being on this end of the matchup. I assume they're not on the Vengefine build, but just straight Rakdos or maybe mono red hollow one. Discard, swing 2. Oh, they didn't want a Burning Inquiry. Interesting. I feel like it's pretty good against us on average. So we have 6 mana coming off, so we only need 1 land to win. I want to play Thunder Trap to block this. I think so. It obviously turns on our Flare as well. And yeah, I'll take the Sink into Stupor. Even though I don't really need the mana right now. I'll bounce this Flame Blade next turn or a hollow one if he gets it down. So he doesn't Burning Inquiry and just destroy our hand, we should be good. I guess I might just Flare Burning Inquiry, right? Save me 3 damage plus the draw. Discard nonsense. I think this is worth countering. Likely turns on this Fear of Missing Out, and already, like, I was only going to block 2 damage anyway, and countering the looting with it counters 2 damage from the Flame Blade. Potentially more. And stops other shenanigans, like filling the board with hollow ones this turn. And I need 2 more turns, so I can't afford to let them just set up for 16 damage next turn. Yeah, that double looting, I was toast if that resolved. Might still be. Did I just discard a hollow one? Color me confused. That's the only way to get delirium, I guess. Instead of taking the free 4/4. Oh my gosh, yeah, third Looney will do it. It's to attack for 10, 11, 12 this turn. We're going to end up being one turn short. Maybe we draw Bane Veil. I can't sink. I'm drawing another Bolt in. Going to 3. So I have Root Oil will be lethal. Obviously a Bolt is lethal. Guess we're Thunder Trapping. Are we dead? Oh yeah, we're dead. I can only block one. Sorry, opponent. I shouldn't even pass back to you. I like Unable to Screams here. Purple Hole's fine. These are actually bad. They're playing mostly basics. We want our Soul Guides, obviously. It's a lot of permanent based hate. I feel like Force is still pretty strong, though. Our flares are moderately weak based on their creature removal. Play like that. See what we can get. We have 3 archaeologists and only 1 land. That's an easy one. We have 2 lands, Graveyard Hate, Thunder Trap, and everything we need to combo. I will actually bottom Belcher. Play this tapped. The next turn I'll play the Soul Guide into the next turn is Thunder Trap. We'll see what we draw and what they do, obviously. It's not locked in. Carved in stone. My Flame Blade. Seems good. I have no targets for the first thing, but second ability is relevant. Pinch we get counter 2-drop. Do we counter that? Kind of need trap to dig, but doing this we essentially cancel out this whole turn. I think that's worth it. Represents a lot of damage on later turns. So if we hit one more land, we can still wear for Bloom. Guess we don't. Actually, we need one more land after that one too. But I think I still want to get Bloom out. Get Tamishi out. I think I'll just do this in response. One card again into a Burning Inquiry is rough. We're getting hit with at least 4. Potentially a lot more with Arena Glory and Burning Inquiry going off. Come on, opponent. Just let it resolve. Kept to me, she lost another where Goblin, Belcher, and where they are a mono red Vengefine build. That's for 7. Sack this for 3 white, blue. Yeah, I can start going off. Sorry. A win con though. So I think I'm gonna do a full one. Sorry, I meant to click it like this. Can I make enough mana to just return Belcher and win? Return it is 4 white, 5. So I need 8. I got 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have enough. Didn't notice that at first. Cancel. Sorry. Why can't I click on Belcher? Well, boss, you gotta have a land and play to return to your hand. Cool. Minutes to spare. To me, she's a fun magic card. So I'll go with blue. I mean, obviously we got lucky on that inquiry there that it didn't hit Artemishi. Although if it had hit, if we had been left with Whir or Belcher, we could have possibly got there as well. We'll run it back. Another force. Maybe over the portable hole. This will be the hard one to win with them on the play. Soul Guide, we have a Shoal, we have 3 lands. Double Belcher, I think it's probably keepable. Come on, opponent. What you doing over there? Put me to sleep. Loot, loot, loot. Looty, looty, dooty, booty. Don't have an X1, unfortunately. Oh, I could have done X is 5 on that. Never thought of that. Oh well. That was probably misplayed. Might cost us the game. I've always thought about how suppression play is useless, but it can be used to counter that, and I didn't pay attention. Lull me into a false sense of security. Wait, no, I thought I said don't pass. Whatever. I guess we just lose. Even I kept a hand with shoal, and now I just am not using it. Just letting it sit in our hand. Oh well. So we take 8, 9, 10, go to 10. Good game. I do apologize. I don't think we should have lost this game. I should have countered this hollow one. And then fear of missing out would have been far less scary. Yeah. But as it is, I think we are just dead. Lock this. Once, but it gets to attack again. This would have been a fine curve otherwise, but... oh well. All's well that ends well. Sign up for the 3-2, I suppose. Pretty common with my blue Belcher outings. But, yeah, if this hollow one was countered, we'd still be at 15. Only facing down these two. I don't think there's actually a block that wins. Block the hollow one, he gets... well, let's assume he untaps it. Yeah. We take 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he can just attack with the hollow one again, because that's what we did. Yeah, something I can do. Sorry for the ending there on a poopy note, but I do hope all's going well. Have a fantastic day.